This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening, everybody. This is the AnCan Foundation Veteran Support Group. I'm Jim Marshall. I am the moderator of this. And the first thing I'd like to do is to thank the AnCan Foundation and also Johnson & Johnson for its financial support for the internet access that we are enjoying today. And so today is August 19th. Summertime is coming to an end. School has started here. And so I want to welcome, this is a forum that will talk about the VA, or it can talk about the VA benefits retirement, can also talk about military benefits, healthcare retirement, and also I was a federal civilian essentially after I retired. So, and I worked at the U.S. Office of Personnel Management for 12 years, so I can talk civilian healthcare retirement. So, uh, hello, Dr. Ed. I see you have joined us from Colorado.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, it's interesting you're talking about transitioning because I'm working. I had my first appointment at the Rocky Mountain VA Hospital.
Hold on a minute, Ed, because I will put you on the list. I have a new person to
Okay.
do
I'll
first.
talk to you about it in a bit.
Sure. Okay, you are on the list. Okay, new person, Jim AnCan. He's from Nashville. I talked to him today. Nashville Air Force guy. Hey, all right. And also a Vietnam vet out of Thailand, NKP, Garden Spot, Thailand. What did you do wrong to get sent there? No.
What I did wrong was spend 3 years in Europe first.
Oh, okay. So
The vacation, they awarded us for our vacation with a year in
right,
Thailand, Vietnam.
right. So Jim, as I know, was diagnosed with prostate cancer back in 2008, and so he's on another support group call, and now we are just trying to engineer him to get the VA disability. And the thing I would like to bring up with you, Jim, is that I looked at the doctor's statement that you provided me as then a part of the claim. Okay. And that statement only says that you're being treated for the prostate cancer, but I sort of assume, or I glean out of that you are considered stage 4. Okay. And the implications of that is permanent and total, where the way the thing reads now, I believe the VA would interpret it as you are being treated with the possibility of a durable remission. And so
Yeah.
that would put you as a temporarily disabled vet.
Yes.
And so what I'd like for you to do is to get essentially a clarification out of the doctor to see if indeed you are stage 4 or considered to be stage 4.
He's never mentioned stage anything.
Okay, well, that would be a good thing to ask him, because in there I read something about that your case was presented to a tumor board, and the only recommendation was to do ADT,
Yeah.
androgen deprivation therapy, which is not something which will lead you to a durable remission.
Correct.
So possibly because I understand that you had radiation before, I don't know if they're hesitant to do it again.
No, they don't want to do it again.
Okay, well then, indeed, because you do have it anyway outside the gland, and it's in the lymph nodes, and they are not going to radiate it, then as bad as it sounds, it should be couched as stage 4 terminal prostate cancer in the letter, because that will convey to the VA that, hey, you are permanent, which is good for you in a way, because once that is approved, you will not hear from them again. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll ask Benson for that letter.
right. And once you get that, get it to me, and I already have um, your narrative about 90% done. It was easy to do. And so after I get that, I can ship it to you, and you do have time. Now, do you own a condo, or are you in an apartment, or what?
Here in Nashville, we're in an apartment. In Florida, we own a home.
Okay, well, well, actually, which one is your official residence?
That's hard to say. For insurance wise, I've made Nashville my primary, but for taxes and for basic driver's license, Florida is primary. We have to
Oh,
keep
okay,
Florida primary to take advantage of the property tax
right.
deduction
You say to take advantage of the property tax.
in Florida.
Okay,
The-
but you pay property taxes in Florida, right?
Correct.
Okay, well, the thing that I believe, and I need to check Florida again, is that if you are 100% permanent and total, then I believe, and somebody can correct me, Dan, in the state of Florida, are you exempt from the property taxes? Dan seems to be shaking his head yes. So that is an advantage of being permanent and total. The same is true within Virginia and within Tennessee. I checked, and they will give you uh, a credit for upwards of $175,000 of value on your home, condo, etc. So it's something just to be aware of. Okay. Okay. Do you have questions? Any more questions for us?
No, you answered all mine today.
Oh, okay.
I'm just shocked that's a possibility. I was not aware.
Well, actually, it's a nice shock, but the problem is if you're stage 4, that is not good. But like me,
I never assumed myself. I assumed myself about stage one
you know,
because it's such a slow growing, only
well,
small.
true. It isn't the slow growing fact. Within the prostate exclusively at stage 2, just still confined to the pelvic area is stage 3 generally, because you can treat it. And if it takes a road trip, it's stage 4. But in your case, provided they can't treat it, there isn't really anything that will kill them within and with lymph nodes. I wish there was, because I would be knocking on their door.
Yeah.
So, anyway, okay. Well, good. Well, I don't know if it's good. Colonel Boykin, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good, everybody. I'm doing good.
Okay. Let me see. I got to make you a organizer. Ah, there we go. Just in case. The good colonel's an Air Force colonel, and he takes care of posting this onto the internet. So he takes care of that as a volunteer. So I thank you very much for it. Okay, Mark,
Thank you.
you said you had something about Champ VA. I am all ears.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Jim gave me this assignment at the beginning of the summer, so I've been trying to work on it. It has personal things for me to do too, but uh, I've been looking up on Champ VA versus TRICARE and things like that. So if anybody has a question on Champ VA, if you don't know what Champ VA is, it's a service that you're entitled to if you're 100% permanent and total. It goes on after your Medicare A and B. And so basically, what it is uh, if you have gone in the hospital and you get a bill, of course, Medicare takes care of that. And then if your Part B turns in a bill, uh, whatever your copay is after that, Champ VA pays that. So
Uh,
you end up with nothing right now. Is what I'm finding
Mark,
out.
Mark,
Yes,
I believe Champ VA is for your dependents, not for
correct.
the veteran themselves.
You're correct.
Okay.
And if you have TRICARE, you're not eligible for Champ VA. So if you're retired and you have TRICARE, you're not eligible for Champ VA. But it's for your dependents after you're 100% permanent and total. It's to take care of them. Or I found out if you have you have a permanent caregiver in your house. Let's say your spouse and the children are gone, and you have a relative that's taking care of you, and that relative is qualified through the VA to receive benefits under that program. That person can also have Champ VA. So the more I dig, the more I find stuff. Some of it's good, some of it's bad on my case, but uh, I've been digging through it this summer, slow but surely. And I just wanted to let people know if you have a question, come to the program here. And if I'm here, I'll help you answer it. And if not, give it to Captain Jim up there, and he's got my email, and he can drop me a line, and I'll try to contact you. I prefer to call you one on one if that's possible, but if I'm out in the woods of West Virginia, it's kind of hard to do. If I can get some texts out at times, but if I'm out camping, it's kind of hard between the mountains. But I've learned a lot. Um, it's made me happy. It's made me sad. But we're still working on things, and I can't wait for open season to come up because I've got so many questions for open season Medicare. So I can't wait. I can't wait for that to happen so I can dig my toes in some of that mess.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, but Champ VA is there for you, and like Captain said, we can. It's out there if you want it. It's there. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing, but you have to be 100% permanent and total, and you have to have A and B on your Medicare. So, and I was going to ask Captain Jim how much his B is on his on his Social Security, but we'll
Well,
just leave it at that.
that is actually I've got Part C.
Oh, you got C too.
Right. I have C.
But
It's a
you,
Part A and C because of the federal health plan and the Medicare premiums are
correct,
income based. So the more you make, the more you pay for it. So, or you pay
correct.
for yourself
And you
and
also
probably
get,
somebody else
correct,
at the same time. Okay.
correct. And at the same time, you get your medicine. It's kind of nice to pull up you pull up to the door and they say, you owe nothing. You're like, yeah. So,
Right.
uh,
So
we
actually
got answers for some of your questions. If you got them out there, we'll try to
right.
find them.
And on on the fact, just for a review, if a person is 10, 20, 30, or 40%, the only free healthcare you get is for what you are rated for. There is an exception to that. Well, there are two exceptions to that. The first one is if you are at least 45% rounded to 50, because they round up, they round down, you get free health care. Or if you have been deemed exposed to toxic material and you have a TERRA memorandum created, and that came about on the 5th of March of 2024. So everybody, Agent Orange and the burn pits, and also ionizing radiation, which is the third aspect of the PACT Act, automatically get TERRA. So you get 100% free health care, even if you don't have any disabilities at all, or you're 10, 20, 30, or 40. It's an interesting thing to look into, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you had to have been in Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, or even exposed to, you could have been at Fort Bragg, because most military installations, Air Force bases, Navy bases, Navy ships have all been deemed toxic waste sites. So that's something to explore that I don't think a lot of vets really understand. And but that's strictly healthcare. It's not money. Okay. Okay, let's go on to Bruce. Wait.
Hello.
Excuse me. Wait. Excuse me, Hank. You have your hand up. I almost missed you.
Yeah, could you repeat what that acronym is, Jim? For that
TERRA.
TERA?
TERRA. Not to be confused with DOD TERRA. This is VA's TERRA is toxic exposure risk activity. And the thing that happens now is that all claims that were being adjudicated in about the March, April timeframe of 2024 will be evaluated for TERRA. Now, and the way you will know this is when you get your VA determination letters. The first one tells you or the first section is what you are going to get. Then there is on generally the bottom of page 1 or on page 2, there is a list of evidence, and it will have a title of evidence. And in that list, they will list whatever you submitted and whatever they considered as a part of your claim. In that list, if you see TERRA memorandum has been created, that means that you are now entitled to 100% free VA health care because of an exposure to some toxic materials. As I said, you don't have to have gone to Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, all of that stuff. You could have been exclusively within the good old USA. And in fact, I just have a Army draftee that I have talked about in the past. He was at Fort Knox in 1970, did Army basic training, AIT, going to go to Vietnam, and he went to a clerk school. And during that time, he was diverted to Germany. So he drove a car, brand new car, and he was to catch an airplane and said, how do I ship my car? So he stopped into Fort Myer here within Arlington, Virginia, and he tracked down a sergeant major. And the guy looked at his clerk school stuff and said, son, you are not going to Germany. You are staying here. And so he stayed here. Fast forward 2024, and he gets prostate cancer. We just successfully got him processed, rated at 100% VA temporary because he's under treatment, and he has been awarded 100% free VA health care. And as I said, it was Fort Knox, Fort Myer, and now he is rated and he's getting free VA health care.
I'm getting ready to submit my disability claim. I'll have it done by the middle of September.
Okay.
For you to review.
Okay, good.
So I will automatically get reviewed for terror when that gets
Well,
submitted?
yes, except the catch is the review isn't like you think they know where all of the toxic stuff is. The VA doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So
I'm under PACT Act, so it should be pretty straightforward for them.
now, if indeed you are under the PACT Act, in other words, Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, ionizing radiation, you go, what the hell is ionizing radiation? Like I have a Coast Guard guy that commanded a LORAN station, which was a predecessor of GPS. Anything working around communications equipment, radars, those type equipment is then ionizing radiation, which could qualify you for the PACT Act, which would then be classed as terror. So, yes, Hank, out of that, even if you get rated as 10, you still get terror. Okay. Okay, Bruce, I think
Hello.
you have a comment or anything?
Yeah. Just to update everybody, I was at the Mayo Clinic on August 1st, and I stayed up there until August 3rd or 4th. It was my third recurrence of prostate cancer. It is still contained in the prostate. I've had proton beam radiation in 2018.
Okay.
I had regular radiation in 2023, I believe it was. And then my prostate cancer came back again, and were 4 spots still within the prostate, although there was a seminal vesicule involved. And I had cryoablation, and that was a 4-hour procedure on the 1st of August. And now they're going to wait and see what happens to my PSA and all that. They don't want to see me until November.
Okay, so in general, what is your rating for your prostate cancer right now?
You mean like a
No,
Gleason
in
score
the
or
VA. I'm talking in the VA.
the VA has not handled anything in this.
No, you haven't handled anything in the VA for it. Now,
Well, that's
so
true. Yeah.
let us talk about this. So I take it you are a veteran, right?
Yes. I
Okay.
was 36 and a half years in the National Guard.
In the National, okay. So all you need is 6 years in the National Guard and you are considered to be a VA veteran. Okay. Did you ever deploy overseas?
No.
Okay. Uh, then just out of curiosity, did you ever serve at Fort Knox? Because I got that one. No,
No.
no. So which of the military bases did you ever set foot on? Starting at the
Uh,
beginning.
well, Fort McCoy in Wisconsin. There was a active Air Force base in Pisa, Italy, that I served on for about 2 weeks, and
Okay.
the closest I came to bad stuff was burn pits
No,
at
no,
Fort
no.
McCoy.
Wait.
I was in an artillery unit.
Okay, so your artillery, okay, which is some bad stuff. But in the 36 years in the National Guard, the only Army base you ever set foot on was Fort McCoy? Does that sound right?
Uh, I believe that is correct.
Where did you do basic training?
Fort Gordon, Georgia.
Ah, okay, so after that, where did you go? Or did you go to a tech school or advanced training or anything else?
Not really.
Wait, either you did or
Um,
you not. Not really.
no, I did not. I did not.
So, what did you do in the national? I mean, where did
I
you
was
do
a
your training in the National Guard for 36 years that you never stepped foot on a military installation?
I was one of those damn JAG officers.
Oh, you were a lawyer. Oh, no wonder.
Yes.
So, all of your stuff was done in a lawyer's office someplace else. Okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah, so, hmm. That's an interesting one. I will have to look at that because Fort Gordon's got some things, but the prostate cancer, and I don't think a ballpoint pen will cause prostate cancer. And you have no other health issues besides that.
I have had health issues. I've had a brain tumor, among other things.
Ooh,
But yeah, but that was there's apparently no military connection to that, whatever.
wait. Well, maybe not. I got guys that say, "Oh, that could never do it," and you'd be surprised. So, okay, so there's no diabetes, there isn't any sinus problems. There is, because around artillery, you happen to breathe all those hazardous fumes, hearing problem,
I do
tinnitus.
have hearing problems.
Okay, did you ever?
I'm basically deaf in my left ear.
Okay, have you ever applied to the VA for anything?
No.
No. Okay. Hearing would be probably being deaf. I mean, the idea that here you were in artillery for that time, it's only 10, but at least it gets you into the VA system.
I
So,
have been having, what happened is that we had a flood in a house that we used to own in Milwaukee,
okay,
and the papers, my DD 214 got packed up in some papers. I know I have it,
okay.
but we have been unable to find it.
Well, actually, I don't remember if I've sent out the information about how to request one in a reminder, or it's pending in a reminder that I haven't sent out, but there is a process you can use to request a replacement. So if you're interested, contact me offline and we'll see what we might be able to do. Okay?
I appreciate that.
Okay. Okay, any other thing? Let's see, any other question?
No,
Okay. Okay, Luther, what's going on, guy? You're muted.
Hey, sorry.
Ah, there we go.
Just to provide an update,
Okay.
in August of 2023, the results of a PSMA PET scan, it was determined that I had algo metastatic cancer that had progressed in 3 locations. At that time, I was moved to 100% and subsequently became total and permanent.
Okay.
In 2023, I went on hormone deprivation
Right.
treatment and received my last shot in August 2024. Was due for the next one in October 2024, but went on holiday
Okay.
because I was at a undetectable level.
Okay. Yeah.
It has remained, well, it's went from 0.02 to 0.04, still
Yep.
considered undetectable. In 2023, when I became metastatic, I did not the VA involved with upgrading that because I was at 100%.
Well, now, is it 100% or just straight 100% or 100% permanent and total?
100% permanent total.
So once you are at 100% permanent and total, there isn't anything to upgrade.
Correct. I think when we had this conversation at the last meeting,
Okay.
there was an issue of just bringing the VA up to speed.
No, you do not have to do that, and I would not try to keep them abreast about how you are doing medically, because remember the VA is divided into 2 separate armies or air forces or navies. What you are talking about is providing healthcare update to the benefit side of the VA, and they could care less. Now, on the healthcare side, maybe. So it really isn't needed or actually should be done, because even if you give them an update, what are they supposed to do with it?
Well, that was where the question came in is I'm rated at 90%, but paid
Oh,
at 100%.
wait. But what is the rating for your prostate cancer?
60%.
Okay. But you are actually, because of your state, you are stage 4, I would think, right? Stage
Yes.
4. Okay. Well, then the thing that we need to do is to put in a supplement, or either a supplemental claim or uh, an update, and to get you up to 100% for the prostate cancer itself. Okay.
Correct.
And
And that was where the question came in because I questioned my VSO at the time. What happens to my wife? And I understand that as long as my death certificate would say it was due to something in the military or
well,
to be contributed to something in the military, I'd be okay. But without that, she would not qualify if I did not have 10 years of being rated at 100%.
that well, no, wait. That's okay. Let's go unpack this. Okay. In general, if you die of a service-connected disability and it's on the death certificate, no matter if it's 1 year, 2 days, 10 years, okay, she would be entitled to a pension, a VA pension, and it's currently running about 1653 a month or something. Now, if you are 100% and you're 100% for 10 years, okay, which I'm a little over 8, when you die, she gets a pension regardless, okay, which runs about $3,052, I think, the last time I looked. Now, but you aren't dead yet, okay? So you're
Sometimes I
still
feel
here.
that way.
So you are 90% overall, but you've been bumped to 100 because of what? TDIU?
Yes, and Parkinson's.
Okay, TDIU and Parkinson's. Now, depending upon what else you've got, I would recommend you taking the prostate cancer and get it up to 100 permanent and total, because you are entitled to it. Okay?
Yes, but
Once,
Jim, that's where this came up before, and the VSO advised not to do that at the time because his case was you're getting 100% payment. Why do you want to bring up
ah,
the issue?
good question. That is a good question, because once you get that 1 to 100%, then sometime down the road, all of the other ones are probably going to entitle you to special monthly compensation, extra money.
Which I get that also. Is
You get SMC today
homebound.
for housebound?
Yes.
Okay. And are you getting that through because of the Parkinson's?
I
I'm
can't.
just okay. I'm just curious. Okay. Well,
I mean,
uh,
I'm saying I can't answer because I don't know.
oh, okay. Well, it's your choice. I mean, uh, if you're already, and I take it you are also getting loss of use of creative organ, which is SMC subsection K, right?
No, that's something you've advised me of, and I need to get that done.
Okay, well, yes, because that's the extra 136.06 a month.
Right.
And if you want to do that, I have done about 4 of them for guys, and I could probably knock it out in 2 days. And I can send you and with a draft of it, and all that you have to do is to fill in the forms, name, well, the address, zip code, are you homeless? Are you thinking about it, et cetera, et cetera. And then
I
you
appreciate
could,
that, Jim, and I greatly appreciate you doing that.
okay, now, are you comfortable on the computer and then being able to submit your own claim
Yes,
using Access VA?
yes.
Oh, good. Okay, well then, the the thing I'll do is to make a note. I will contact you. I need to get just a little bit of information, and as I said, I have about 4 of them already canned that I've done for guys, and it's just tweak it a little bit here and there, and you're okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. So
Okay, good.
that part is clear, but going back to the bringing it up to 100% strictly for prostate cancer,
Yeah,
so as I understand what you just said previously, if I die and it's a death certificate says it's something related to service-connected disability,
right,
my wife would be eligible for $1,600 roughly a month.
right.
But if I was total and permanent and for 100% for 10 years, she'd be entitled to a larger pension.
Well, actually, uh, that's true. But at this point in time, you said that you're 100% permanent and total already, right?
Yes, but not, and it's the rating, not that I'm paid it. The rating needs to be at 100%.
Except you say the rating's 100%, but you're paid at 90%?
No, just the reverse. The rating is at 90%. I'm paid at 100.
Okay, but the thing there is on the TDIU can be permanent and total.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't have to be. So at the time that you were told you are 100%, did it say 100% permanent and total?
I believe it had.
Okay, well, I'll have to look at that again on the,
But again, my whole reason for pursuing it was that it was my understanding that the clock didn't start on the 10 years until you were rated at 100%.
that's, I believe that's true. So when did you get rated 100% permanent and total?
I never got rated. I only got paid.
No, you said that on your thing it said you are now 100% permanent and total.
Yes.
Okay? You are 100% permanent and total. Not that you have to have prostate cancer as 100% permanent and total. You just have to be rated 100% permanent and total for 10 years. Okay?
Yeah, his clock started when he got that P&T. As soon as he
Right.
got that, forget the 90%. When he came
Right.
back with permanent and total, that clock started for 10 years when he received that letter. So
Right.
that's where it's at. I mean,
So I don't know the date of that.
I'll go back and verify precisely what that says.
Right, on it. Mine started in 2018 at the time I straightened it out because originally I was a temporarily disabled vet, and that's how come I got interested in this stuff. Okay, well, check out your date, and I will be contacting you for a little bit of information, and we will gen up a claim for the loss of use of creative organ.
Thank you, Jim.
It sounds fun. Okay. Dan.
Yeah, just something quick.
Oh,
I just had my
okay.
first VA appointment the other day.
Oh,
So
a VA one? Actual a VA
yes, yeah, I got my
healthcare? Oh,
PCM established with the VA, first one. And then unrelated, I have my MRI, and I'll talk about this tomorrow night at the active surveillance. Got my MRI at Mayo Clinic on Friday.
oh,
So
okay.
quick question.
Yeah.
Now that I have the VA established as a PCM, I'm going to the VA clinic. I'm going to Mayo Clinic. I've got TRICARE for life, and I've got Medicare.
Yeah.
Does the VA pay anything if there's anything
Well,
out of that?
the thing that will happen is because you have TRICARE, and now the question I have to ask is, did you go, probably not, but I gotta ask, did you go to the VA and did they authorize you community care to then and with the Mayo Clinic?
No.
Probably not. No. Okay. So you went to the Mayo Clinic as a military retiree and you will use TRICARE,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And
And
no, the VA doesn't get involved because whatever Mayo bills TRICARE, they must accept as final payment.
okay.
So there isn't any additional. Now, the thing that might happen is, let's say you go to Mayo and they prescribe a drug that TRICARE says, we don't cover that drug. So then you could be able to go to the VA through your primary care provider and get them to supply that drug.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. That all makes sense.
Yep. So you have the VA in your back pocket just in case you need them.
Right.
But he also, excuse me, but he also has to make sure that if that drug is available through the VA, because
Yes.
that
Well,
particular drug might have to go through the VA as a, you know, not a primary name
right.
on it. So the first thing you would have to do is make sure that the VA has that drug, and then you got to
Well,
see if
they have it on their formulary, but the thing that can happen as I found out is that my civilian health insurance would not cover essentially Orgavix. Okay, it's a
Mhm.
prostate cancer drug. Okay. And so I went to the VA, and it turns out that my VA cancer doctor says we don't have it either. Okay. Now, so I got outsourced to Johns Hopkins. Well, the catch is if Johns Hopkins prescribes it for me, I take it back to the VA and now they have to order it. So in essence, in the long haul, the VA supplies it. But I haven't had that yet because I have a PSA of 0.09.
Okay,
So,
but what I want everybody to understand
right,
is this doesn't happen overnight.
right.
This takes a time for all of this to catch up, and some people get really frustrated over this process. So what everybody needs to understand, I'm going here, I'm going there. Sometimes you have to let all this catch up, but once you get it locked in, then you just keep it will go a lot smoother. But sometimes it takes a while.
Yes.
So
Another thing is in this process, if it comes from the outside, make sure that they write the prescription using the generic name because the VA doesn't handle trade names like Viagra, or it. They operate generic names. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind because that can get you.
Yeah, one last thing.
Yeah.
Only related in that it was at the VA, so the tech that was taking care of me also had prostate cancer, and he is a Lejeune baby, and he said that thus far all of his claims have been denied. I encouraged him to attend this tonight, but I don't see him here. So next time I talk to them, I'm again push him to here. But
Yeah, do please because depending upon how that claim was put together, as I said, I got a guy, Fort Knox,
yeah,
exposed to trichloroethylene
yeah,
and put together everything, and it took 2 tries to do it, but depending upon, even if he was Lejeune, that is not automatic. There needs to be other things included in that. And as I said, it took me 2 tries and close to 9 months to figure it out.
yeah.
I
I
would
told him
be
if there was a way that you would know.
happy to help him. Mark, you have your hand up.
yeah. One of the things that everybody in the group has to understand: this particular group we're in is not a prostate group for
Right.
veterans. This
Yes.
is a veterans things for anybody that's out there, whether they're with AnCan or not. This is for veterans that have questions about veteran stuff and how to receive what's owed to them and how to work their way through the system because it gets really long and drawn out. I have Parkinson's. Luther's got Parkinson's. We could have just came in here as Parkinson's individual veterans and gone through this process. It has nothing to do with somebody go, oh, well, I don't have prostate cancer. No, you're a veteran. You need to come to this meeting and sit here and talk about what we can do for you to get you through the system. That
Right.
I mean, I don't know how much easier we can make it. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that message going out.
Yeah,
Right. I
that's
thank you, Mark,
okay.
because a lot of veterans have it. And in fact, many, probably about half, I think, of the veterans I know have stumbled across this because of all of the toxic stuff we were exposed to. And this is a biggie that is finally being discussed. So,
Well, and also now we're being recorded and going up online.
right.
So
Yes.
when somebody goes diddle 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 and they come up and they go, oh, well, this is only for prostate guys
Right.
with veterans.
No, no,
No,
no.
no, this is for
Oh,
anybody
no.
that's watching this. Come on, get your friends, come on in, and we'll try to help you get through this
Right.
process.
Yeah, this is really healthcare navigation, and then other
Right.
government. Yeah.
Okay. Dan, I take it that's it? Oh, good. Okay. Let's see who's next. Artie, my man. You always bring up some interesting things. Unmute and let us have it.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta put my shirt on because I was having a hot flash. So I had to take my shirt off.
Sure.
I was having a hot
My apologies, Artie.
Okay, another one that's got prostate cancer, but other things. But hey,
Hold on, let me put my shirt back on. I was having a bad hot flash. Okay, here we go. Okay, here I am. Here we go. Okay, cool. So my question is, I got denied for the prostate cancer for the 5th time. But I recently just got on other claims I got to 100% without the prostate cancer. So
Okay.
my question is this: I'm 100% PNT without the prostate cancer. Should I go ahead? I got denied maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Should I go ahead
Okay.
and fight it, continue to claim and fight it, or should I stop fighting? And my reasons are because if I keep going with it, will they be able to look at my other conditions and reduce them, or will they not because not only I'm at PNT, but because I'm putting a claim in before the year is over. So it's really not a new claim, it's just a claim. I'm just continuing. It's not a new claim. I'm worried about my PNT stats getting reduced. That's my question.
Okay, Mark, you have your hand up.
Okay. You're in the VA system in the medical side. You're listed with prostate cancer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. 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 So even though it's not part of your disability and you've asked for it, you have other numbers that have crossed you up to 100%, and now you're 100% PNT.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes.
That's all the money you're gonna blah 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 be able to get other than your $132.65, right, Richard?
No, he
But
doesn't.
anyways,
He doesn't
no,
get
no.
that either
Oh
because
no, yeah, that's correct. You're
right.
right. You're right. So now there's really nothing you can do because it's on your record as prostate cancer. So when it comes medical wise, that's already on your record. So you've done already what
So
all you've been trying to do. I mean,
well, the
once you
reason I
get
want to pursue it,
Yeah.
the reason I want to pursue it is two reasons. The first
Okay.
one is because even if I get even if I get a 0%, say if I get service connected, I'm not service connected for the prostate cancer, but even if I get 0%, my wife would get DIC benefits. I'm not service connected right now, and I was
If you
also
die of it,
okay.
true. That
then
is
I was also
absolutely
told,
true.
and I was also told that I don't know if it's true or not that they get like a $35,000 or something like that if I die from the prostate cancer if it's service connected. And then number three is I've been pursuing this claim for like 4 or 5 years. So I would get the back pay. I would get back pay from before the 100%, which was October 2024. I've been pursuing it since like April of 22. So I would get that other 2 years of back pay. Question is, should I keep pursuing it? But I'm nervous about them messing with my reducing my other claims. But I was told that they wouldn't because it's basically not a new claim. I'm just continuing because I just got denied, so I'm just continuing.
Right.
I'm not doing a new claim. That's what I'm worried about. That's my question.
Okay. I take it, Artie, that you're not covered under the PACT Act, right?
And you know that's the funny part, Jim. I
Yeah.
missed. The turkey was on. Remember we talked about the turkey being on there. So
Okay.
they did add turkey on there, and I do have the prostate cancer. But guess what? I missed the PACT Act by 5 weeks. I got out
Yeah.
in I got out in
Okay.
22nd, 1990.
Okay. The other thing is in your claim, did you get a medical doctor to say that in their professional opinion
Yep.
that that they believe that it was caused by this?
I did. I had a 10-page. I bought it. I had a 10-page Nexus letter, basically stating that more than likely, and about 50 times he put it up in there. More than likely, about 50 times, and they still denied
I don't understand that one. Now, uh, in Turkey, what did you do in
Hey,
Turkey?
hey, Jim,
Yes.
I had a Nexus letter just like that.
Okay.
Made sure that the dermatologist said, more
Yep.
likely than not,
Right.
and they still denied it.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And that was for service-connected melanoma. And
Oh,
I was in
okay.
Southwest Asia, and they said I'm a Terra person,
Right.
and they gave me other PACT Act things, presumptive, like prostate cancer,
Right.
from the Terra, and they denied the melanoma.
What did you do in Turkey? refresh my memory.
It was artillery. So I wasn't on the
Oh,
gun line. I wasn't on the gun line until I got to my second unit. But my
okay.
first unit,
So you were artillery.
in my first unit, I was a custodial agent. So I was the one. The nuclear rounds were housed in like these silos, and I was the one guarding the nuclear silo rounds. But then we would go inside the silos and assembling and disassembling the nuclear rounds, and they had depleted uranium.
Oh,
We would play with that.
so
Huh?
you didn't claim it under ionizing radiation?
I think I did. They
That's
did.
the key, ionizing radiation.
They denied me
Right.
for they denied me for terror too, which I don't understand because. And I sent them. I had a nexus letter. I had a personal statement, and I sent them articles. I sent them articles showing I was working around that stuff, and they still denied me.
I
And
would
and
have
Jimmy,
to see that stuff. I don't, well, either that or the thing you do is to get a lawyer,
That's what I was going to say.
and because that would be a specialty in trade. But the catch is, what you might get is a couple extra $100 a month out of it, and it might not be enough to pay off and with a lawyer. But
well,
they would tell you,
I would get more than that. I would get because I've been
oh
pursuing this
yeah,
claim for 3
right.
years, so I would get 3 years of back pay.
Well, as I said, it would be, to me, it would be worth it to dump it into a lawyer's lap to do an appeal,
Yeah,
because they would get a cut of maybe 25%, 30%, but you would still get your stuff, and you would get the majority of the funds, and they would probably hug you.
yeah. The main reason I want to do it though is not so much for me; it's for my
Yeah,
wife. If something happened to
Right.
me. I know if I
yeah,
live,
yeah.
that's the main reasons for my family.
That is a very valid reason to do it. So that would be my suggestion, because it's time to escalate this thing all the way up,
Yeah.
So would I
and
have to go to the
to get
board?
the pros.
Or would I have to go to the? So they saying I have to go. My next step is the board. So would I have to take a lawyer to the board or just get a lawyer?
Well, get the lawyer, and the lawyer would then handle it. And
Okay.
they are trained. Those are advertising, CCK law, Hill and Ponton, Woods and Woods,
Okay.
etc. And they
Yeah,
know their stuff.
I was gonna say, Artie, if you Google anything and describe some of it, you're gonna get all these guys, and then you can just pick one. Talk to them and
Another
figure out
question. My other
which.
question is they
Yeah.
can't mess with my PNT status though, right? Because cancer has nothing to do with that other stuff. But they would.
Now, that I cannot answer the question for. I have no idea. But the lawyer should be able to answer that, because this is the thing they do professionally.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
You
Let me
got
see if there's anything else. Let me check my.
you got Sylvester down there too.
Yes, I would. Oh, Sylvester. Yes. Sylvester Mann has joined us. He is a retired VA employee, and it's always good to have him on the call. Yes, Sylvester, chime in here, please.
I've been retired quite some time, so things may have changed. Artie, if you do get a lawyer, that would be great, but I want to point one thing out. Title 38, when I was working, specifically states how much a lawyer can charge you. When I was working, I'm just guessing, but the figures were so low that no lawyer would probably pursue the case, because whatever the results was, it wouldn't be enough to pay the lawyer fee. So you might want to check with Title 38. It specifically states how much a lawyer can charge.
Sure.
Now, the other thing I want to point out is that normally if you file a claim for disability, sometimes it affects other disabilities associated with that claim. Now, you're under the impression that whatever disability you are now rated for, if you pursue the prostate cancer claim, it may affect the disabilities that you're now rated for. And my wildest guess, I would say no. There may be other cancers that you are rated for, but that doesn't mean they are prostate cancers. From what little I understand about cancers, there are specific breakdowns for cancers, and one doesn't affect the other. But
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, and I could be wrong.
Yeah, my cancer is the only cancer I have. Everything else is other related stuff that's nothing to do with cancer. It's like mental and musculoskeletal stuff. It's nothing to do with my cancer. There's nothing to do with it.
Then normally one disability would not affect another disability if they are separate entities.
They're separate. It's definitely separate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We're making pretty good
Jim, I
time.
gotta run.
Yeah.
I'll see you in 2 weeks or whenever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, just real quick.
Yeah. Go.
Had a really good experience over at Rocky Mountain VA Hospital here in Denver. Spent 4 hours with a young first-year resident who then brought her attending in, and they're mailing me my drugs, and so far so good. But classic VA, I don't get to see my primary care manager until November 7th.
Well, okay. Yep. On the first time in. Yeah, that.
It was actually a very good visit, and
good.
so far impressed. And they're going to work with me on the hip, but they also said if you can get the hip done prior to seeing your PCM and you can do it through Medicare or TRICARE for life, go ahead and get it done. So I'm leaning on Dr. Daughter up in Broomfield to get me in up there. Anyway, got to run, guys. Great hearing from you. We'll see you.
Okay. Okay, Todd. What do you have for us?
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I just had a recent rating, but I'll just take you through the summary.
Okay.
When I retired from the Army, I was 70%. 2 years ago, I had prostate cancer, and I had a prostatectomy, and they took me to a temporary 100.
Right.
Just recently, in June, they reevaluated me for prostate cancer. I had negative PSA scores or undetectable, and they lowered my complications for that to just a 20% from the results of prostate cancer. So my overall rating went to 80%. And just recently, my VSO, well, actually, when I got my 80% rating, my VSO asked me, did they talk to me anything about anxiety and depression? I said, no, they just asked my level of needs as a result, or my difficulties or incontinence as a result of my prostate cancer. And I said, no. He said, well, I'm going to put you in for an evaluation for that. So they did the evaluation about a month ago, and recently I got 50% for anxiety and depression, but I don't have my overall rating yet adjusted. So,
well, actually, if you were 80% prior to this, a straight 80, let's just say 80, you have a 20% remainder. So if anxiety is going to be 50, that's 50% of 20 is 10, you would now be 90.
Okay.
It's called VA math.
Okay.
Now I take it on the prostate cancer residuals when they ask you how many times do you get up to pee at night? You said one or two, right?
I think I said 3 or so on average.
Well, if you would have said 3 and they put down 3, it would have been 30% because 3 to 4 is 30%.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I don't know how much that would have made a difference. Probably not to get you up to 95, but just keep that in mind. Now,
okay.
I'm curious, is that an average number or is that the worst case in a month or what do you,
That was an average number when they asked me.
well, this brings up a question. Should you get paid for the average or should you get paid for the worst case?
Oh,
I don't know. If it's me, the average is the average, but I think I should get paid for worst case. So
okay.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I didn't
Everybody
think about that. Okay.
now also a worst case over what period of time? Should it be over a week? Should it be over 2 weeks? Should it be over a month? Well, nobody tells you what that, personally speaking, and this is just my opinion, because it was all caused by your service, I believe a person should get paid for the worst case in a month.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion if I were to
Yeah, well,
do it.
worst case could be 5 or 6. Yeah, so, but
Well, the 5 or 6 would have been 40%, but did they ask you how many pads do you go through in a day?
yes, yes.
And I
And
think if it's 6 or more, you get 60%.
yes, and so I'm not using the pads or anything.
Right.
And I do
So,
frequently urinate.
right. But you generally have the pads just in case,
I
right?
do have the pad just in
Right. Yeah,
case, but yes.
that's what most people do. Okay, Dr. Ed is gone. Uh, ooh, we got Steve Collins. I think you joined us a little bit late, but that's okay. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I was on early. I didn't really have anything. I just haven't been here in a while, and I just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
check back in. And
So, do you have any questions for us? Because we still got time. We still got like close to a half an hour, maybe.
yeah, no, I'll leave it for people to have questions tonight. I really don't have any question now. I just want to step back in. I haven't been on the call in a while.
Okay, so how are you doing as far as the VA goes? Are you in the VA healthcare?
Yes, yes, I'm in the VA
Enrolled?
healthcare. I'm 100% total and permanently. Not
Okay,
not for the prostate thing though, but um, and I get all my meds. You were talking about Orcovix
right,
earlier. That's the
right.
same process happened with me when I went to the community. Once the urology there prescribed it, then it went through the VA, and I got it through the VA.
Ah, okay, good, because uh, at the time that I start back up on treatment, that will be probably the thing I will need to do.
Yeah,
So,
they told me if I was getting treated there once my community was up, they wanted to do Lupron. I said, well, I told them what I read on that wasn't what I was interested in. So I guess I should say I'm I've been on the Orcovix since November.
Okay.
Been undetected since then. I guess I'm just buying time to see what's next.
Okay, now, how long are you supposed to be on that? Is there a time limit?
Well, the urologist says 6 to 18 months in between time.
Okay, now, this is a fine point of what will happen. So at this point, you are probably rated 100% temporarily disabled, right?
Well, I was told I'm permanent before the prostate thing, so I'm
Okay,
100% told I'm permanent.
so you're 100% before, but are you 100% just straight 100% for the prostate cancer, right?
No, I'm zero for nothing for the prostate, just the
Oh,
100.
nothing for the prostate.
Correct.
So you are not covered under the PACT Act, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Uh, let's
I
see, how
kind of
many?
had similar to what the other gentleman
Right.
Artie was talking about earlier. I met with the VSO and they was like, yeah, you go back through that whole process again. I get SMC already, so
Oh,
they was
oh,
like,
okay. You already get it. Okay, so you get the SMC technically housebound.
not housebound, no, loss of limbs, whatever they call it,
Oh,
not
oh,
limbs,
oh,
loss of
oh, okay.
body part,
So
not
it's
limbs, but yes,
SMC other things.
yes.
TK.
Oh, okay.
So they was just telling, well, they were saying, well, you go back and try to get another maybe couple $100, and
Right, that is the case. Okay, well, yes, I sort of agree with you. Why poke the bear?
yes, that's what I did at that point. But as far as my treatment plan thing go now, I'm just trying to figure out what next. Do I do the radiation of where do I go from here?
Well, well, actually, the thing in a medical point of view, you say, should you do the so you aren't considered to be stage 4, are you? In other words, it has escaped out of the gland and it's taken a road trip?
No, well, must is 2013. I had a robotic prostatectomy,
Okay,
and I went 11 to 12 years undetected.
so you are recurrent.
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, okay. And are you in the high risk
yes, I have
prostate?
been. Yes, I've been in that group as well.
Oh, good, 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 good. Okay, so yeah, indeed you are stage 4, and so yeah, so okay.
Mhm.
Um, the only reason why you might consider it is if you are married and you die of it, the
Mhm.
wife gets a pension. I call this, how much do you love your wife? And
Well, I'm not married, so I don't have
yeah,
that issue.
okay. So,
Mhm.
yeah, because you could be worth more dead than alive, kind of thing. So, okay. Okay, great. Okay, EC, what's happening in Arkansas? Oh, you
Can you
got
hear
your
me?
hand up? Yeah, oh, absolutely, sir.
Yes. Top of the evening, gentlemen. I enrolled late as well, but have caught up to all the matters that I've heard spoken. And first of all, I want to just say thanks again for this invitation. This is my first time on the vet call. I was on the AnCan call when I first met the group and yourself, Jim. Artie,
Yeah,
congrats to you on the recent awarding of the 100% permanent total. That's always exciting to hear when someone crosses that threshold. Jim, two things here.
okay.
On the 12th of August, right after the previous Zoom call, I sent you an email package, which was more of a read ahead, so I didn't have to bore everybody with what was upcoming for me. And I was trying to see if you got it. I sent it to both
Yeah.
emails.
I did, and I thought I replied to it because because the screenshots that you took, I could not read.
Okay, you didn't say that, but because I would have come back
Oh,
another path. But you only reply you sent me the good information about the Vietnam and
right.
the armored truck, those things. But I didn't get an advisory or thoughts
Oh, I'm sorry.
to
I will
my
check on
disposition.
that.
So
Right.
but I sent you that. I'll yield and just say if you get a chance, look that over and send me your thoughts. However, since that
Okay.
time on the 14th, and that was the 12th, on the
Okay.
14th, I did proceed on with my transrectal biopsy, fusion biopsy.
Right.
So I'm 5 days post that. So I'll say B plus 5, biopsy plus 5 days, and everything went well according to procedure, according to the doctor. It was under community care because at the time the VA had outsourced a pocket of us because their particular equipment apparatus needed a part, and that supply chain distribution and the tariffs usurped their ability to get that in any acquire that in any reasonable time. So anyway, the private physician said that everything was a success. We're waiting on the results, which is going to be probably 7 days. So there's nothing really to share there other than I did have a biopsy. That part was a success. I'm having just what they describing as the light dribble bleeding in the urine, none in the rectal or bowels at all. So at this point, I don't have anything for the mass. I think my scenario and disposition parallels Artie in the things he was concerned about
Okay.
for being 100% and should he pursue additional claim. And also, I closely model or resemble Steve's disposition as he was talking. So I don't really have to ask any questions because those gentlemen eloquently and very meticulously covered down on their questions, and then those things facilitated my needs. So really, if you'll just take a look at my read ahead smart
Okay.
packet on me and give me some feedback, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks to you gentlemen for your time, and Sylvester, your feedback on prior VA expertise. You may feel dated, but any foundational information helps us as we, as Colonel Boyd says, go out and Google. That just kind of solidifies our point. So thank you as well for your input.
Okay, Mark, you do have your hand up.
Again, for EC, the way I understand it is you went through community care to go out to get your perineal biopsy. Is that correct?
I did, Mark.
Okay. That document that they sent you from community care says from this date to this date. Also understand, just because the doctor on the street took care of you then, you can always go back to community care and request that doctor again because you went on the street. Just because they got the part at the VA, you can say, now, wait a minute, but you got to be your own advocate. Wait a minute, I've got this document. He did this procedure on the street. I know this time frame's gone, but he did the procedure. I would like to go back on the street to see this doctor again. So just because they got the part and they've had to put you on the street, keep that in mind. That's a request that you can ask for, and just make sure you got that piece of paper because you can always go back and ask community care for that.
And Mark, I appreciate that. That's good poop as far as subsequent follow-on procedures or care. Initially, because the private physician was snowbirding so long trying to get my disc for my MRI with contrast, took so long, and then even when they got it, the physician went on break. I was initially going to ask community care to reassign me back to the VA when they had that part. So I think I always feel it's better, and there's two schools of thoughts for us vets. Sometimes we want that second opinion private, and I'm a TRICARE and VA as a military retiree, so I have each option. But I think in this particular light, because this is prostate and organ related, I don't have any organ related disabilities. So I'm in that boat with Artie and Steve that if I pass, I have to pass with something that is, related to that could be on the death certificate. All of mine are associated. So my wife would never receive DIC. So I have to make that hard decision on do I go ahead and proceed and possibly open up a can of worms. But Sylvester kind of gave me some calmness about the association of a new claim when you're 100% versus a claim associated. So I may have to go ahead and do that because with one thing we have to think about, and I'm talking to others, is if you have prostate or cancer internally, then if you don't have hypertension, you don't have high blood pressure, at least that if you pass with something that on that death certificate, like my dad, given whatever they put, cancer can always be related to it. But if I don't have that, then I'm probably never going to pass of anything that's associated with my rating, because you don't die of a need that is 30% and then all of a sudden it's bleeding out. That. So in that regard, I think we all have to think about that part of is it more advantageous to insure and secure DIC for surviving spouse than it is to worry about do you open up the possibility for them to delve in and look into your rating? And I think that whole point of what Sylvester says, hell. But the other thing to think about is if you're P&T and you're close to the end of that 10-year window, maybe not. But if you're P&T when you're just at the first year, and you got 9 years of miles to walk, I may go ahead and put in for that and take that chance, because the probability of me passing could be high, and I leave my wife and my family hanging. So anyway, I appreciate what you said, Mark, in that regard.
And I want anybody that's looking at this on the internet, we're not doctors, we don't work for the VA, and the only thing we're doing is sharing what's worked for us. And so you still have to go out there and do your own homework. You can't say, well, the guys on this thing said that I could do this. You still have to go out and do your own work and look this stuff up. I mean, you just can't say, well, Mark said, or Sylvester said, or Captain Jim said. You have to go out and dig into this and really research it. So, it seems like you've done that, and I appreciate it.
This is total pontification, and guys, Monday morning quarterbacking, and I'm glad you be out there for others, and especially you don't want to take it from an old Army foot soldier like myself. So, thank you.
Question for you, EC. Are you collecting SMC now?
Yes, I am getting SMCK for ED. I'm rated 0% on ED, but SMCK. Now,
you are getting the SMCK for probably something else, right?
No, it's for ED. It's a loss of organ. So it's that that right. 130. Yes.
True, but that would have to be secondary to some other rated disability.
Yeah, I think ED may be secondary to PTSD, I think.
Right. Okay. Yep. Now, so you are not collecting SMC Sierra S. No. Well, that would possibly come in if you did the prostate cancer, because the prostate cancer is going to be probably 100%, right? Or is your treatable and eventually it would drop?
Yeah, so I think I agree with you on what both you just said. I think it's going to stem from the results thereof and the severity. And right. I know people say always think the positive, and if all my, and when you look at my what do you call it, T2 hypertension and all that, I think everything suggests that I probably have it, but everybody wants to say assume you don't. But if I don't have it, then, or if I have it as marginal, it just depends on which way we address it. through chemo, radiation, whole health medicine, or whatever. So I think I'm at the whim of that decision before I know about putting it in for prostate cancer as a rating.
Right. So ultimately, you would be, we believe, treatable. And so after it is treated and the period is done, you would be downgraded either to the 10, 20, 30, 40, or 60, depending upon residual effects. And so what you might want to do is and I can send you essentially a calculator that you can play what ifs in it.
Okay.
And it's an interesting thing to do to see what would happen if you did do it, your disability got from 100 down to, let's say, 40. And so what would that do to the overall? Because I take it you don't have one other one now that is 100% standalone, right?
No, all of mine are composite, none associated with prostate, and mine 70% PTSD.
Okay, so after you would lose that 100% temporary, the SMC Sierra would then go away because it requires one to be 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so yes, it's a factor in, do you pursue it or not? That is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rick Davis, you came on. Rick is the founder of AnCan, and he generally checks in with us to see how things are going. Yes, sir. Hello. Happy to
Hello.
see you, sir.
Hello. So I'm gonna make you eat your heart out here, Jim
Okay.
Marshall, Captain Jim.
Okay.
I was moderating a meeting earlier today alone because the other moderator wasn't well. We had 17 people in the group and 11 were newbies.
Oh. Could this be the visual snow syndrome?
Yes, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. And I know that any moderator who's sitting in this group, do we have any other moderators in this group? I don't think so,
Yes.
but certainly Jim Marshall. Oh, Boykin, Colonel Boykin. Certainly Colonel Boykin and Captain Jim will empathize with 11 new newbies. Oh my gosh. That's the most I can ever remember us having in a group. Thank God I was sitting in the lead chair for it.
Well, there was a lady I was on talking to Jim Aiken this afternoon about 1 o'clock, and a gal from the UK joined us because she was early. So we said hello and everything else, and then she figured out she was about 2.5 hours early. So,
well, just a heads up, but we are actually moving that group to start 2 hours earlier because as it stands right now, it's starting at like 9:30 UK time anyway, and which is awfully late, and 10:30 for people who are in Germany and France and whatever.
Okay, yes.
So we're starting in September. That group will actually begin at I'm trying to remember. I think we said 1:30 New York time or 2:30 New York time, Eastern time.
Okay.
So watch out. We're bringing it earlier. But boy, that was an effort on my part, I will tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else that you? I take it there isn't anything else to share. Okay.
Well, I tell you one thing, it's his fault. He's the one that started all this.
Right.
You know, I mean, we were happy just on a telephone call, but now it's all this
Yeah.
across the world stuff, you know, New Zealand and all this other
I have a
stuff. So
question.
Germany, Stuttgart. Yes.
I know all this stuff. It's
I have
all
a
this,
question.
Hey,
it's his idea.
I love it. Okay.
I have a question, Jim. Captain Jim, I
Yeah.
have a question.
Okay,
So
Artie.
if you get SMC, I know about the 100% and the 70%, but SMC, I think is housebound, right? Here's my question about
Yeah.
housebound. The word is housebound. Does housebound mean that you can't go to your appointments, your doctor's appointments, you can't do that? You gotta stay. You have to stay in the house. What does the definition of
No,
house? Huh?
actually, there are actually three, three alternatives in, or three ways you can get SMC Sierra. Okay, the one is truly housebound. Okay, the other one is you have one that's 100% and a second one that is at least 60%. Okay, and the third alternative is you have one that's 100% and you have one that's at least 40%, and all of those, including the one which is at least 40%, if those little ones add up to 70%, you are awarded SMC subsection S. But what I've discovered is that at the time that you get told you have SMC subsection S, the VA will always call it housebound. And I think it has to do with a computer problem or a computer issue, because they don't try to differentiate which one of the three you actually have unless you actually applied for housebound. And there's a way to actually apply for housebound without being 100%. So the answer is I hope not, because I have been declared housebound, and and if I was, the wife would be very upset if I was housebound. So
Okay. I was always curious about that.
I would,
Also,
yeah.
also $132, it just doesn't work out.
No, I thought
Well,
housebound was 300. I thought housebound
no,
was.
actually, it depends on when you got it, because I looked in the 2026 ratings and it seems they dropped it an amount, which I don't know if that's going to be phased in, but 100% was something like $4,020, and housebound SMC was $4,288. So that isn't what it is today. So I have no idea.
And I have one more question. One more question.
Sure, I'll try.
Why does the I guess it's called the senior league or something like that, right? Why does the VA go on senior leagues calculation for our COLA pay raises each year? Because we're two separate entities. We're veterans and then there's seniors. Some of them are veterans and seniors. So why this? Because the amount is so low, it's like 2.5. It's like the average amount of inflation is way more than 2.5% every year. That's my question.
Well, that actually has to do with the government. The government uses a certain number, and they use the same thing for Social Security, military retirement, etc. So I don't know if that comes out of the Bureau of Labor Statistics or where it does. And they have changed the way they calculate that because I think they exclude food, fuel, and something else. So it's strange. Rick, you have insights into how they finagle
No,
that? Oh,
no, you keep going on this, and this is something after you're finished. I don't want to hijack your thread.
oh. No, actually, with that, it's a mystery. And so, however they do it, the number I hear has been plugged in by the Senate is 2.5. That could maybe change to 2.6.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yep. Okay, now, Rick.
So I've got a little story for all you vets here. As many of you know, I row in a boat. I'm a rower. I row a scull, single scull, which is about 11 inches wide and 25 foot 4 inches long. So it's a long, thin boat. And of course, because I'm rowing, I'm going backwards. And there's a couple of lakes close to me within 45 minutes. But the one I usually go to is a very small lake. And there's usually a bunch of fishermen on it. And the fishermen are never particularly friendly, and they kind of feel like they own the lake, which is a bit of a problem. They have, as an old roommate once said to me, an overdeveloped sense of property when it comes to the lake. So I'm out there on Sunday, and I look over my shoulder every fifth stroke. So, I take 5 strokes, and then I usually look over my left shoulder. For some reason, I have more rotation left than right. And I look over the left, and sometimes I glance quickly over the right. And I'm rowing along, and I hear a yell, "What up?" Right? And I look. I knew there was nothing on my left side, but I look on my right, and there's a guy sitting on there on a paddleboard fishing. So I miss him with the boat, thank goodness. But I've got 8-foot oars on either side, right?
Oh, wow.
Try to get the oars under. I try to get my port oar underneath his paddleboard, and the next thing I know, this poor sod's in the water. So, and I'm saying, I said, "Why didn't you yell? Yell at me. It's fine. Why didn't you yell?" And then I'm like gone. And the thing is that there's no point in trying to swing around and help him, because I can't help him in a scull. First of all, I've only got one hand at best, because I've got to keep hold of both oars. Otherwise, I'm out of the boat. So I got one hand to help him with. And what am I going to do? Put him in the scull? I don't think so. And and plus you can't maneuver a scull around that quickly. Now, for the other things, like Commander Sajak will attest, I hope. Do we have any other naval officers in this group, or naval? Yes, we have Mark. Any other Navy men? If you know your code, a blind boat has right of way. So first of all, I have right of way because I'm not under power. And compared to another boat that's not under power, I have right of way because I'm a blind boat. I'm going backwards. Anyway, the guy was fine.
I don't know, Rick. I think you're on thin ice on that one, because you claimed he was fishing, so he was burdened.
He was what?
He was burdened if he was fishing.
Oh, he was burdened. Okay. Yeah.
But,
You might get me.
That's a ball diamond ball. If he didn't have two balls and a diamond up, then he's out of luck.
Believe me, he didn't have two balls and a diamond. He didn't have two
I
balls
think
and
this
a
is
diamond.
this is a Mason story. Come on, Rick. This is a Mason story.
Well, you haven't heard the reason I'm bringing it up to you yet. So I keep going, and when I get down to the other end, back to that end of the lake, the guy on one of the fishing boats starts yelling at me. Who do you think you are? And you knocked that guy off his board, and this, that, and the other. And Meanwhile, there's a woman on the dock, and I had rowed past that dock. It's sort of where I turn around just before that. And God forbid, she was fishing. I didn't see her float, and I came too near her float. And she'd been screaming, and she had been screaming at me. And I said, "You're pissing everybody else off on the lake. You know, it's like everybody owns this lake." And believe me, when you're rowing and you're trying to see a fishing line or a float, it's impossible, man. It's impossible. I mean, the most dangerous thing for me is when people are actually swimming, because it's very, very hard to see swimmers with just a head if they don't have a float with. And then this woman starts yelling at me, and I'm a disabled vet. And I said, and the guy had started out by saying to me, "Are you retired?" And I didn't answer him. And the reason he asked me if I was retired was because he told me I should come to the lake during the week. Well, as it so happens, not only am I not retired, I'm probably working 6 days out of 7. I wish I could get to the lake during the week, but I can't. And then I got all these people on my case, and then this disabled vet tells me I should go back to my own country, which really was not very nice, especially since I've probably been a citizen longer than she's been alive.
Right.
So, anyway, that
Give
was, believe
you
me,
give her the
had I
info to
seen her
dial in?
on the shore, I would not have given her an AnCan card and told her to call into the groups.
Send her a shirt.
And now with Mark, God bless him, with Sailorman Mark, I can sort of see the funny side, so I'm able to laugh. I was not a happy camper on Sunday. It really pissed me off. It pissed me off so much. I worked so hard on that 7th lap. I usually do 10 to 14 laps. I did 12 on Saturday. I worked so hard on that 7th lap. I almost didn't have enough energy to finish off. I was so pissed off. I was pulling so hard on that 7th lap. Oh my gosh.
High adventures on the sea.
I was fit to be tied, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, it's about 10 o'clock, and I'm going to stop the recording. And if by chance anybody wants to contact me, you can contact me through the AnCan Foundation at veterans@ancan.org, ANCAN.org. And I will be happy to respond. And hopefully I will see you all next month. It'll be September, and the kiddies are in school.
That's
So
right. Enjoy Labor Day.
a nice day.
Yep.
Yep.